I think it's just fun because, so what, I should be sitting on a book? Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna put it up a little bit.
Whoa!
It's too low, it's not showing my head.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wee. Wee. Hey everyone, it's DiabeticDanica. Welcome back to my channel. I finally have with me today, Cody.
Make it sound like it was a struggle to get me here.
It's been a long time since I asked for the questions, and then since we're here, so I feel a little bad, not gonna lie. But I asked you last time to ask me questions to ask Cody, so that's what we're gonna do today.
I have not seen these questions. She did not tell me to say that.
I didn't, but you haven't seen them. I didn't want them to know that.
No, it's totally fresh.
Yep, so these are real honest opinions on dating someone with diabetes. So I'm gonna get into it.
All right.
So the first question is from Instagram. The username is Wanacott_Kaylee. This one's easy. It's how long have y'all been dating?
10 months as of what, 2 days ago.
Second question is similar. It's from Oshea.alanna from Instagram.
Actually, 3 days ago, sorry.
Yeah.
I had to think about
It's
it.
how long have you been dating? So you got that one. And then what was his reaction? I think reaction to diabetes. So like when I first mentioned that I had type 1 diabetes, what were your immediate thoughts? Most people don't know a lot about diabetes before they like meet someone with type 1 especially. So
Sure.
what were your initial?
Well, I mean, personally for me, it was looking back at my own, as soon as you told me about it and started catching up to speed, one, I was like, yay, education. Because I was learning every day. I got to learn something new, and that's just something I like to do anyway, and especially about someone I care about. But then I started thinking about my own family history with it, and not that it was really extensive or anything like that, but my dad, for example, type 2, and that was like my only real connection with it at the time. But looking back at what you did, because you told me that in the same nugget, and I don't know, since day one you've been kind of my champion and hero with that, because being able to talk about it, one, educate me every step of the way, and learning it has been just the funnest challenge, whether it's a hike or whatnot. But my first reaction was like, she gets it, and it's been a pretty fun time just to be able to catch up to speed and learn all of these challenges and how you can integrate them into normal life without really any hitch.
Yeah, I feel like it's all in the way you present it, kind of. Like, if you present it as, like, this big, scary thing, that's how you're going to perceive it, probably. But I try to just work it in like it's my job, and I do the YouTube videos, so it's very seamless to just be like, this is part of it. So it's a good first, like, introduction to it, I feel like.
Sure.
And then a similar question from Ferrer on YouTube. She asked initially how you felt, but then how do you feel now? Because she's meeting someone that she really likes, and she has to tell them that she has diabetes, which this was 4 months ago, so you've probably already told this person. But yeah, any difference in how you feel now versus then, or is it the same?
I wouldn't say it's the same, it's even better, easily. Not that I was feeling any sort of trepidation or whatever the word is back then, or any nerves, but seeing how you've been able to handle this, I rest easy. Actually even better than I did before, because when I first started dating you back in the day, 10 months ago, 3 days ago, I got it down to a math. But
how many hours?
When we first started dating, I was like, she's got to have this down to the book. She's got to have a schedule on this. And she does, but she's made it easy. And so even now, like, I can be 2 hours away, I could be 4 hours away, I could be 1,500 miles away, and I'm like, this Danica gets it. And now that I understand a lot more of the lingo, a lot more of what needs to be done, it is lingo.
That is the hard part. I was laughing because I'm like, that's what takes a little bit to get, because there's a lot of words in diabetes that people just don't know, like bolus or Dexcom or
that was all news to me.
Anything.
Yeah,
I feel low even is like not a typical phrase most people say unless they're depressed or something.
Well, and in my own experience, the people that in my family that have known it did not take care of it very well at all. It was gone completely,
uncared for,
unsurveillanced, in a lot of different ways. So seeing all of the different levels kind of goes back to my first answer bit, because the education along the way I've learned. Yeah. And it's, I mean, if you've seen any of our posts, we adventure has never slowed us down.
On Instagram, he's talking about. We post a lot of hiking pictures and stuff like that. This question is related. It's from Kriya_type1 or T1D on Instagram. Did you find the type 1 intimidating to learn about?
I wouldn't use intimidating. That's a good word, but I wouldn't use that one. I've heard about it in the past before, because again, with my history of in the family, with at least one or two people having type 2 distantly or not so distantly. Type 1 was the one that was, when I learned about it and started doing my side reading on it, I was like, this is the, out of the two of them, this is the one that's got, or there's more than that, obviously, but the ones that I have knowledge of.
The two main ones. I'm just laughing because I'm worried about what you're going to say, but just say it.
It just seemed there was a lot more to it. There was a lot more to digest. There was a lot more to pay attention to. And I didn't know half of it. I still don't. I still am learning every day.
The only reason I laughed is because people hate when people say, is that the bad kind of diabetes?
No.
Which you didn't say, so you're fine.
I don't know.
But people will be like, oh, you have type 1. Is that the bad kind? As if either kind is like great for you or a good thing to deal with. But I see what you're saying. It's more time intensive and complicated from the get-go compared to type 2, which can get that way. It can get to where you're taking insulin multiple times a day and checking your blood sugar all the time and everything that type 1s do. But initially, it's often not. It's more like diet, exercise, oral medication. So it's more of a gradual.
And in my own experience too,
they
which
weren't
is
doing all those
well, yeah, that's talking about my family again. But in my own experience, I will be the first person to say that I do not know enough of something to call it good or bad. And
that's why they're asking: is it the bad kind?
And those words can mean a lot of different things, good and bad. So in this case, to me, complicated is the word that came more complex.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Yeah, complex was the one, and it was kind of, to me, just accepting that challenge alongside you, which you have already accepted it years ago, and you've been knocking this out of the park.
I had some time.
She is just an absolute champion with it, and it inspires me all the time. And I'm not just saying that for the camera's sake. Like I think I call you hero and champion a lot, like, to the point where you're sick of it.
Inspiring, let me tell you. This is a related question from Brooke Forge. I don't know how to say your name, on Instagram. Did you know anything about type 1 diabetes before meeting Danica? It sounds like maybe no. Was there anything that you knew about it? Or a lot of people, like when I first got diabetes, I didn't even know there was multiple types. So
I knew a bit. Like I said with that last answer, I knew it was more complex, but that was basically my extent of that knowledge.
That it was more complex.
I knew the words insulin. I knew the words, well, not the words, but I knew the protocols in terms of what you would have to do to deal with it to like the most basic degree.
Did you think I couldn't have sugar?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the first time. That was one of the things. I knew you could have it, but one of the first things. I mean, we were sitting down, and you were eating chocolate chip cookies
Speaking
or
of
something.
Sugar.
Coffee. Well, we're big time coffee. I rely on coffee. She relies on it more than I do. But I was sitting there watching her eat cookies, and I was like, it was like Oreos or something like that.
I don't remember, honestly.
I can't remember.
I eat cookies a lot.
So do I. Oh man, if I didn't have cookies, it would be over.
Canuckistan on YouTube was asking, like,
Canuckistan.
Was it hard to learn, but also how quickly did you learn? And I feel like this question is kind of like not super helpful because it's an ongoing process. Like even when you have diabetes, you're still learning about it throughout. Like I'm a diabetes educator and I still learn stuff all the time.
First, I mean, Canuckistan, the guy's clearly a hockey fan.
Is that what that is?
Oh yeah, it's a Canadian thing.
Oh.
Big time. Love hockey.
But the second part I think you could answer. So do you worry about Danica because she has diabetes?
I'll answer them both, but that one first, yes. I do, to a healthy degree. She knows what she's doing more than 100 of me. So I don't worry to the degree where I'm like away, I'm goosebumps all the time.
He calls me every 5 minutes and he asks me what my blood sugar is.
Nah.
I'm just kidding.
Nah.
He doesn't do that at all. You never ask me what my blood sugar is.
She's... Only if you're not feeling well will I ask you, like, is something going on? But that's about it. And at the same time, even then, I'm going, she's got this. You've got it so far down to a science that maybe early on I was a little bit more nervous about it.
Yeah.
But in terms of learning it, like you said, you're always learning everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I'm of the belief that if you're, you can never be 100% an expert of one thing, because most things are constantly changing. all the time anyway, especially something in medical, anything. So
yeah,
I kind of embrace that, especially about what you have to go through.
And then it changes over time too. Like new technology is always coming out, and I feel like diabetes is one of those things that's always changing. So this is a similar question again. They're kind of all connected. I tried to do that on purpose and put them in a certain order. Scaposio on Instagram said, "Are you afraid you won't know what to do in an emergency?" I have not taught him what to do in an emergency yet. That's my own fault, though.
You taught me once.
No, I didn't.
No, not about an emergency, but you taught me once how to do the shot.
No, I didn't.
In your, like, hand or something, but that was it.
Oh, you mean a finger prick?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's not an emergency.
An emergency, I need to teach you, and I've wanted to for a long time, but for some reason I just never have. It's the glucagon thing is what I think of. So if you're so low that you can't eat or drink anything, you need to be given glucagon. See, this is the first he's hearing of it because I haven't taught him.
Even if
I'm such a bad example.
Even if I heard that word to begin with, I'd just be like...
There's an injection form, and then there's also, I have the nasal one. So it's super easy. I just literally just haven't done it. And there's no reason I haven't done it. I just haven't.
See, I'm still stuck on trying to spell that word.
So everyone needs to do that sooner than me. Don't follow my lead on that.
But I have looked up. I don't remember words like glucagon all the time.
I said the word endocrinologist yesterday or 2 days ago.
I know what that means, but the way she dropped it, we were playing a name game. It was a game that was called Think and Sync, I think, where we're trying to think of the same things, and it was literally supposed to be like what?
A physician, I think.
No, it was types of doctors.
Types of doctors.
And so, boom, endocrinologist off the bat. I'm going like medical. So it was.
And then you tried to say endocrinologist, and it was like endocrinologist.
I know how to say. I was in vet school for a little while, so my knowledge of the medical realm is animals.
Why didn't you say veterinarian?
It's a good question.
Didn't say human doctor.
I was trying to think and sing.
Yeah.
Clearly I did not think, nor probably think.
Okay, this one's a longer question because they're giving some backstory, but I'm not going to read it word for word. So it's Worthy Book Journey on YouTube. This person's son is type 1 and 30 and thinking it'll be really hard to live with him as a diabetic. So she goes into some details about like how it's, you know, alarms going off in the middle of the night or like having to pack extra for trips and stuff like that. So, or like even getting complications down the line, dying, all that like really scary stuff. So she says, nice light question for you. Any of this cross your mind or concern you? It's a hard disease to manage. Any of that, like, and it's okay to be honest if that was a thought that crossed your mind, like especially initially before you.
Yes. Well, I mean, I would be foolish to say it doesn't still. But it doesn't haunt me or anything like that. I would be, I just wouldn't be telling the truth if I said it didn't cross my mind. But, I mean...
It crosses my mind.
It's a big deal. I mean, that's a very important part and a very significant issue in this that will, I mean, everyone has the same sort of issues of different things across many different planes of medical planes. But at the same time... It kind of goes back to all the other things I've been saying. I mean, watching you and seeing the handle that you have on it, and the fact that I have been able to sponge what little I have so far, but enough to understand what's going on and when things should happen. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Just plain and simple. Gosh, that's why I wear boots without shoelaces.
Oh no!
I know how to tie my shoes. She's not dating a total fool.
Oh no!
But at the same time,
so I guess his worry is that no one will ever willingly choose to be a part of this struggle, which we know isn't true because there's plenty of people with type 1 diabetes that are dating or married or anything, long-term relationships with people that people choose to be a part of everyone's struggle. Nobody's perfect. There's struggles that everyone's dealing with, and you have to step into that with each person regardless of what it is. So I think that'll be every relationship ever.
Right.
Struggles.
Well, and again, when I first met you, I mean, just immediately, I mean, it was on the table anyway, but...
Literally. Just kidding.
Almost.
I'm imagining like a test strip. Like,
Here is it all.
Tester, yeah.
No, but that's not why I started dating you, and that's not why I continue.
Because I have diabetes.
But that's not a factor.
It's actually a deal breaker if I didn't have diabetes, he said.
Nah.
Actually, that was his first question to me. He said, what medical conditions do you have?
This reminds me of Colleen Ballinger, the Haters Back Off, the guy from that.
Why?
Because he was.
Say that?
No, the one fella who was in like dating people that had afflictions.
Oh, yikes! I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like Dwight Schrute, like making sure the was okay, which is actually the next question, basically. So Alina Novinsky
Dwight
on
Schrute
YouTube.
as a segue.
Alina Novinsky says that her ex's parents were strongly against us going serious because they didn't want diabetic genes in the family. So she kind of goes on to say a couple other things, but she was kind of wondering, are you okay with starting a family with a diabetic person?
Absolutely.
Are you worried about kids getting diabetes?
Not if you were their mom. Nope. I mean, clearly, just seeing you being able to handle this, and I'm not saying it's all your responsibility because just like hypothetically down the road. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not just saying give it all to you because you're the champion.
You're like, check out. No, that's not how I took it.
I just want to clarify that just to make sure for the viewers out there, because every time you say something, you can go in so many different tangents just from not knowing somebody.
Commenting. They're like, "Are you kidding me? You're not going to help out with the time."
They're probably, anyone could be like, "That shirt's." Not saying everyone's like that, but I'm in a field where people will comment on my hair when I'm on camera. I don't know what they know if they know what I do, but
what do you do?
I am a reporter. I'm also an anchor. I'm a senior reporter for a news station, so not my first time on camera.
No, this is his first day.
First day ever.
First day ever.
But I'm used to that kind of stuff. So, and some people can just be cruel, but other people, the vast majority of folks, are much better. They're much more complimentary. They get it. They get what we do, you and I do, because you do a form of that. Absolutely do a form of that.
A relaxed form.
You're educating. You're informing. And I'm sure even me saying a reporter, there's people going, "Oh, he's a reporter, fake news," and all that stuff.
Seriously.
One, I'm a local news reporter. So hopefully that erases some certain things. But going back to the original question, down the road, especially for families, no, that doesn't concern me at all. You are a champion. I want to learn more. And that's just being open and, to that. It isn't hard work to be open-minded. It shouldn't be. And
it's also like you just never know what people are going to get. Like, I got type 1 diabetes, but literally no one in my family has type 1 diabetes. So that's like, you could just say, "Oh, I'm never going to have kids because I don't want them to have any medical issues." Like, you just never know. And the chances when you're the mom, it's actually a lot lower than if I was like the dad with type 1, which is interesting. So it's not like, I'm definitely going to have kids with diabetes, but if I do, at least I know what to do.
And also, and she knows this, but my family has its own genetic things. My mom had
Everybody does.
My mom had that heart condition that's hereditary.
She had to have how it goes.
She had to have open heart surgery. My grandmother on my mom's side had leukemia. Has leukemia. She's in remission. My grandfather had prostate cancer. There's all these different things.
I didn't know all this.
I think she knew this.
I think I'm a little worried.
She knew this.
Okay, next question's from Courtney Beasley on YouTube.
But you get where I'm going with that.
I think we got it. Courtney Beasley on YouTube.
Beasley.
Yeah, Pam Beasley, hey. I want to ask Cody if he's ever or would ever be embarrassed by someone asking me a question about my diabetes or looking at my pump or CGM in public if it were visible. I don't know if that's ever really happened. If
I would be embarrassed if someone saw it?
Was looking at me. If it's on my arm and people are looking at it, or do you feel like people are looking at it or get self-conscious about, I don't know.
If they did, no, I wouldn't be.
I don't think he cares what people think.
I don't.
Well, you do, but not when it comes to
And this
visuals.
goes back because everyone has different thoughts on what they care about, what people think about them or others that they care about. And I could break this down a little bit, but I'll try not to ramble.
I could break this down a million different ways.
One, I'm not embarrassed. Never. No.
That's more embarrassed when I'm skipping down the sidewalk.
No, because I'm usually doing all those things first. I'm probably the embarrassment out of the two of us.
Embarrassing things I do are not diabetes related.
But I don't consider them embarrassing. I consider them fun.
Yeah.
I do them probably more often, and she's probably behind me just going, all the time.
You walk through the tall grass looking for a snake.
Or I'm moving a rattlesnake out of the middle of the trail. We have a video of that. That's fun. But No, if people are looking, and this has not happened, but if someone were to ask in public, I know she'd, again, handle it like a champion. She'd be able to explain what's going on, and she'd keep a cool head and calm mind about it. I would too. If they were rude about it, I'd make sure that they weren't rude anymore. But at the same time, information trumps any sort of, I don't know, aggressive ways of getting things across to people. And I am not embarrassed. I'm proud, if anything.
The next question is similar. Does he get upset? Oh, this is Allison Bohm on Instagram. Does he get upset when someone is rude or grossed out by finger prick shots, etc.? And it just hasn't happened. I have a pump and a CGM that I wear, and I don't usually change them like in the middle of a restaurant or anything. So, and the times I prick my finger, I'm at home before I go to bed. So we don't really see that stuff. And even if you did, I've never really had someone be overtly rude to me about that. So. But good question still. I mean, it's nice to ask and see kind of what your thoughts are, but it just hasn't happened.
And that was Allison. Yeah, Allison, I think that's a great question at the same time, because there's a lot of different things out there, a lot of different other...
It's probably happened to other people, yeah, definitely.
Sure. Absolutely has happened to other people. I mean, I know family members of mine that could see a drop of blood and they're...
Oh, no.
And so, I mean...
I did have that happen.
And when I was younger, that happened, obviously. I don't think I ever was that far along, but in terms of seeing blood and fainting or things like that. But obviously, everyone's got a different background with that. But
we had someone tell, when I was a kid, I checked my blood sugar, and then afterwards, this person was talking to us about how, oh yeah, I can't, because we were talking about diabetes, like I can't even see a drop of blood or I'll pass out. And I was like, I just checked my blood sugar. And they're like, you did? It was kind of funny. Oh. So like, I guess you're not that sensitive to it. I think he just didn't see it. Okay, this is from all these names are kind of hard. Asalinen on Instagram. Are you feeling you need to be careful touching me with all the gadgets, like if we're hugging or cuddling or something like that?
I probably should feel more careful than I do. There's been a couple of times. I can only count maybe on one hand in the 10 months where I've accidentally ripped something out.
Have you?
I think I did once.
No, you didn't.
Wasn't it? I thought you said, oh, you ripped it out. I thought it happened
No,
once.
I did once.
Oh.
I was turning on the couch and it snagged the way I was turning.
Oh, see, for months, you could have, because I was like, I did that. I thought I did it, but no.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I said I don't remember.
No, it doesn't cross
Maybe
me.
you did.
It doesn't cross my mind.
I think I did, but...
No, this doesn't.
But usually if there is something I know and I'm like, hey, like, just so you know, it's right here. Like, put your hand here instead of here. Like, that kind of thing.
No,
it's not a huge
This doesn't cross. It crosses my mind, yeah, but it's not been something that's totally...
They're a little hard to rip off. Like, I don't know. You'd have to want to.
Are there people like that? I'm just going to tear that off.
You don't have to want to. It could happen.
Oh.
Dayuper13 from Instagram.
Dayuper. That's a...
Dayuper. Oh, yeah, he actually commented when we were in Michigan.
Dayuper?
He was saying that we were in his home state and stuff.
Because that's where I'm from, originally.
Yeah. We were just in Michigan like a week ago.
For vacation,
something like that. Does he ever get, he meaning you, do you ever get angry when you're, oh my gosh, I can't say this. Do you ever get angry when I'm crabby from a low or feeling, I don't know, do I get crabby or do I just feel bad?
I feel bad. I will feel...
No, me feel bad. Do I get crabby?
But... Here, this is a two-part answer. Yeah, she has, but she will always tell me she's going to be, and she'll usually tell me why. Like, she'll even use the words, I'm crabby and I'm low, usually in the same sentence or the same two sentences. So I'm like, warning has been issued. But at the same time...
It's not a real grumpiness.
Right.
It's a lack of sugar.
She's very good at communicating that. Was there more to that question?
No. He was just saying he feels bad after his low. Oh. So I think if he's crabby from his low, he feels bad after.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's why I say it up front. So it's like, don't feel bad.
And there's been a few times when you haven't, but that's been probably later on, and I've been usually able to... I'm not saying you've avoided that on purpose or something.
No, I have a lot going on when I'm low.
When you got a lot going on, I don't think your number one priority is, Cody, I'm low.
If I do something mean, it's because I can't think.
Right. So usually I'm like, what can I do to help? That's when I come in running waters and other things, thinking that that's going to do something.
If I'm low?
Well, yeah. Oh, no, not when you're low, when you're high. For whatever reason, when you're high, I'm running waters. And I just but then when you're low, it's either the fruit snacks or something else, but I just want to help. But it's not like a manic help or anything like that. Again, she's very, very good at...
At the beginning, it was a little more manic.
Was it?
I wouldn't say manic, but
Again,
you were a little more worried at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I was a little bit more worried.
To a higher degree than you needed to be, but that's because you didn't know yet.
I didn't know you yet at the time as much. And you very early on made it easily communicatable if I could, we could talk about it pretty dang freely. Dang freely, I say it that way because it was very freely. And it's never really been a concern that much because you got this.
So Haiburrs on Instagram, this is an inside joke, but she said, has Cody offered you a cheese stick yet when you were low?
You got him. She's got a whole drawer of them in there.
I don't have cheese sticks.
I thought you did.
No, I don't.
Early on, I remember because...
It's a joke because when you're low, often people offer you food that does not have carbs or sugar in it, and it's not going to raise your blood sugar, but they're trying to be helpful, and it's really sweet. Like, I've had cheese sticks offered to me, almonds, things that are not going to help me.
Yeah, cheese sticks don't have much in there.
There's no carbs in cheese sticks.
And, like, when I say you got them, or you had them, I know you've had them in there.
Cheese sticks?
Yeah, but probably just for a snack.
Cheese sticks.
No? I could have
I have cheese.
Maybe. I just remember there was mozzarella sticks in there at some point, but they're not for... Who doesn't like a good peeling mozzarella stick? That's why, I used to have maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Might have been me. I had a whole drawer of them.
Okay, here's another question. These ones are getting kind of random at the end. Lindsay and Matthew on Instagram said favorite diabetes word or term. And I think the reason she asked this, I'm not 100% sure, is because I asked my friend Tiffany when we did like a best friend video, and she was mentioning that she really likes the word bolus. But I don't think everyone has a favorite diabetes word.
The word that you just said earlier.
Endocrinologist?
No, because I know that word.
What word did I say?
Glucagon? Glucagon, that's my new favorite word. I mean, gosh, the syllables of that.
Syllables.
Glucagon. It makes me think, whoever named everything in medical science had to just have the best mind. I know there's a lot of Latin in there.
Especially the new medications that come out.
Yeah.
Those are just full on made up. Lumjev. Come on. Who's doing this?
Yeah.
It's Lyumjev.
Wow. Well, even words like acetaminophen. I know there's a lot of Latin and there's scientific terms. Yeah. Absolutely, and I know that, but it's still...
But Lumjev is the brand name. Like, that's what they announce on the commercials. It's not the scientific name. Or
like Tylenol.
Tylenol, yeah, that would be. Anyway. Okay.
But then you get things like Tums.
Tums?
At least that's simple.
Like a tummy?
Hey!
Okay.
I think you just found their secret.
Here's another. I think this is the last question. Carbcountingmess on Instagram said, does your boyfriend follow you on Dexcom?
Is that an option?
No, he does not. He didn't know it existed until this very moment.
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, there's a feature on Dexcom where you could get an app on your phone called Dexcom Follow, and you can see my blood sugars from your phone.
Okay, well, we're doing that. I want that.
We'll see how it goes.
I feel like that would be important. You never even mentioned
so far, I don't have... Well, for a while, my mom followed me, and it was more so just for, like, urgent lows, because I live alone, and it's like, if I drop so low, she would worry, and she would call me. So sometimes I feel like it's helpful. Sometimes I feel like people can worry too much if they see the numbers.
Dexcom Follow app.
So...
Install.
Are you going to ask my permission?
Yes. Well, I'm just downloading the app for now, and then I'm going to ask you formally.
The only thing I'm worried about, and not you in particular, just people in general following my numbers, is that, like, I don't want them to bug me too much about them, you know? Or, like, worry too much, because I'm used to the numbers that I see, and I know that I'm going to have highs and lows, and people that don't have diabetes and don't see those numbers might not.
I'm downloading it right now.
And so...
Just so you know.
I think my worry is that whoever is following me would ask me too many times, like, how are you doing? Did you take insulin? Did you eat carbs? But we'll see.
But you also know
now
that I know.
Yeah,
that
now
you've
seen my graphs more often. But at the beginning, if you saw like a high number, you'd be like,
yeah.
Actually, even recently, you were like, oh man.
Yeah.
That was an oh man number. That was like a 400.
Me downloading this now isn't going to be like I'm going to call her and text her every single time she's got an issue. No, this is me furthering my education. I am questioning its low rating. But at the same time...
You probably all have that rating.
Yeah.
I have to grant you permission anyway. But it's pretty cool. So if you do have a Dexcom, it's on the top right. Here, let it focus. There we go. So on the top, you can't even see it because this is so washed out. But on the top right, or no, that's the left. Ha! On the top left, there's a button you can press. And then you can grant access to people. This is teaching you how to read it. So what did we learn from this video? I need to teach Cody how to do glucagon, and now I'm granting him access to Dexcom Follow. So if it's a train wreck, we'll let you know.
That speaks just oodles of your faith of me, but all right.
It's a lot of like data to get. So even people with diabetes, when they first get Dexcom, it's kind of overwhelming sometimes because it's a lot of data that you're not used to.
Man, it even gives you like a whole educational page for its night mode. Night mode. To give your eyes a rest.
And I would probably not turn on all the alerts for like the person that's following you, unless you're like a mom of a 4-year-old or something. But I would probably just be more worried about lows.
I think I should just hand you my phone for the rest of this part. Huh?
You're not sharing with anyone, it says. Okay, we'll finish this later.
Oh.
I think that's it. Any closing thoughts or things come to mind, or do you think you expressed yourself fully?
That's a grand question.
First time meeting you?
Can anyone ever express themselves fully in just minutes?
It's been a while, actually. This might be 3 parts.
Sure.
Or just a really long video.
Yeah, I'm game for whatever you want to do with it. I just feel bad that you have to edit it all.
It's okay. I haven't edited in so long.
I edit all the time, but nothing that's 14 plus minutes.
Well, this is the last one was like 17. This one's 20.
Wow. So you got a good collective
and
here.
We didn't take that many pauses.
No, we didn't.
I might cut some of it.
But final thoughts. I mean, obviously, learning is just a part of life anyway, and to me, and especially being able to share what you're going through and things that I say that like it's a battle, and in my mind it is, but at the same time you make it look so effortless that again, if you've looked at her Instagram, if you looked at any of her posts, we're on tops of mountains, she's chasing after me if I'm chasing after some animal or something like that, or life is good and life is normal. And I don't know, I obviously wouldn't share it with anybody else. It's been awesome every step of the way. 10 months has felt very quick and long at the same time.
Yeah. It's during COVID too, which kind of throws a wrench in it. But
oh yeah, but we made that work no problem.
But yeah, we do a bunch of stuff all the time, adventures, traveling, just every weekend basically we're trying to go somewhere and hike and stuff. So I actually had one person comment on the first video where I was like, ask questions about what it's like to date a diabetic, and they were like, why is that even a topic? Like, why is that even a thing that you have to ask about?
That's what you asked me, and I think that was my response. It was like,
yeah, you were like, besides having snacks around, I can't really think of anything different. But I've heard people say that they've worried that like it's going to be a red flag for people, that people aren't going to want to date them. They've had people reject them for it, and it's possible that I have. I honestly don't know, but because they didn't tell me to my face. But for some people, it's a worry, and so I thought it'd be fun to like ask some questions.
And see, I'm sitting over here shaking my head, not because, I mean, obviously everyone comes from a different past and they have their own opinions on things, but to judge, I'll put this very broadly, to judge someone just from their past any battles, whether it's a medical issue or type 1 diabetes, don't. I mean, just try not to. There's incredible people out there that are open-minded, and it seems like there's fewer than there's many, but every day I'm like, I got extremely lucky. and just watching the inspiration flow from that has been something that has helped me every day, even though I don't have that same battle in that sense. And yeah, just be yourself, and that's, if you can't, then find something that you can, or someone that you can be yourself around, because sacrificing that is never great for your health, or never great for anybody, including the other person's health. Just be yourself.
That's good advice. All right, I think that's everything, guys. Thanks for asking questions and watching. We're planning on doing more videos, hopefully like follow me around type videos when we go on our hikes, or I was gonna quiz you on diabetes, I think, too, to like really get into the nitty gritty. So I'll have to teach him a little bit more first, like how to use glucagon.
That's one thing.
That's my fault. It's not your fault I didn't teach you. I don't know why I did it. Obviously, I feel guilty about it.
And when you first laid it down there, you're like, "Ooh, look at you." To me, I'm like, I don't even know.
To you?
Yeah.
No, it's my
fault.
fault.
I think with that kind of word, you'd win many spelling bees.
Glucagon.
Glucagon.
All right. Leave any comments down below if any more questions come up too that are like being sparked in your mind. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.
See ya.
Woohoo!
This was, well, see, now I'm stammering. You got me on. Social media and me are not good bedfellows.
You post on Facebook a lot.
I try, but that's just, I try.
I try to keep up.
Usually it's about like lizards and bugs and stuff. So, I mean, at the same, or work. But.
Or the outdoors and stuff like that. Let's see.
I like that you can edit.
I can.
I'm a rambling machine.